What is going on, guys? Your shredded brother from another mother, and you are going to love today's video because we are going to go back in time and revisit the most controversial video in channel history, my results of training biceps every single day for 30 straight days. Now, when I go back and I watch this video, I really cringe and I kind of want to punch myself in the face because there were so many terrible mistakes that I made throughout the course of the experiment. So I want to make sure that you guys do not make these same mistakes, because at the very end of the video, I know I've talked a lot about nuclei overload on this channel. I've never really given you an exact protocol. Well, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you an exact 30-day protocol that you can do on your biceps if you want to try this nuclei overload experiment yourself. So give this video a big like and let's get started. So if you guys want a quick recap, in that video, I did 100 reps for 30 straight days of pretty much just a bunch of variations of bicep curls. We're gonna get into exercise selection in just a moment, but I went from 16.8 inches at the start of the experiment to about 17.2 by day 30. Now, some people argue that this was just muscle inflammation. Some people argue that it's actual gains. But the real results of nuclei overload, remember, don't happen, say, at day 30. They happen at, say, day 90, day 120, because the goal with the experiment is you want to increase the nuclei in that muscle group so it grows exponentially faster after you do it. Now, the first huge mistake that I made in the nuclei overload experiment is I did way too much heavy lifting. Now, this kind of goes against the grain because I know if you guys have legging arms or really any legging muscle group, what you do is you go in the gym and you just want to lift heavy weight to prove to yourself that that muscle group isn't weak. So I would grab that bar and I would do fucking heavy cheat curls with terrible form, and I would try to lift the whole fucking gym doing cheat curls because I was so determined to grow my biceps. Now, this is actually the complete wrong approach, especially if you're doing nuclei overload training. The goal is to isolate the muscle that we're doing the nuclei overload experiment on. If you're doing heavy cheat curls like you see me doing back 2.5 years ago, what are you really working out here? Well, you're using a lot of momentum and a lot of like mid-back to even lift that weight. You're using a ton of anterior deltoid. So to summarize, don't do anything in like the 3 to 8 rep range with bad form if you're doing biceps. In fact, you're about to see at the end of the video, I recommend the 12 to 20 rep range throughout the experiment. Second huge mistake is I wasn't even targeting the right section of my biceps. Now, when you look at the bicep anatomy, we have the short head, the long head, and the brachialis. Now, when I'm really thinking back to what my insecurity was with my arms, it was the height of my biceps. Now, almost all the exercises that I was selecting throughout the course of the experiment were working the short head. Now, I was doing a lot of wider grip curls. I was doing a lot of curls with my arms in front of my body. These are gonna target more of the short head of the biceps, which is gonna give it thickness. Now, of course, this is important for getting bigger arms, but this part right here was not what I was like really focusing on. I wanted to develop more of a peak and more height to my bicep. And guess what this is? This is the long head and the brachialis. Now, there's very specific things that we can do to emphasize the long head. In fact, my very last video on this channel was 5 bicep peak exercises. So little things like keeping your elbows behind your body, supinating your wrists and twisting your pinky finger up, shortening your range of motion. These are all great for emphasizing the long head. I was not doing any of this throughout the experiment. I was doing predominantly 80 to 90% short head biceps. And the third huge killer mistake that I made was I was doing the experiment when my life was really stressful. I was not getting good sleep. I was not getting good recovery. And to top it off, I was in a caloric deficit for the majority of the experiment. Now, if you choose to partake in nuclei overload for your biceps, really for any muscle group, you want to make sure that you have proper rest, recovery, nutrition, supplementation. All this really has to be dialed in because you're essentially overtraining a specific muscle group for a period of time. So you don't want to be overtraining and have bad nutrition and have bad sleep and have high stress levels. So those are the 3 huge mistakes that I made. Now, let's get you guys the exact protocol. So if you want to try this experiment yourself, and if you have legging biceps, I really recommend that you try this because I want to see as many results as possible of different age groups. The only caveat is I want to say that if you are a complete beginner, like you are less than 18 months in the gym, you've really not hit many compound exercises, definitely do not try this experiment. But if you don't fall in this category, let's continue on and give you guys the exact protocol. So one option would be if you just want an all-around bicep workout, you want to select one exercise that hits the short head, one exercise that hits the long head, and one exercise that hits the brachialis, because remember, the brachialis is going to give you that width and thickness as well as push up that long head to give you a better bicep peak. So what you would want to do, say for instance, is 2 sets of all 3 of these exercises. So essentially you're going to be doing a 6-set workout 6 days per week. Now this should take you no more than 10 minutes because you want to keep your rest times short. I recommend around 45 seconds. You want to keep your rep range high. We really want to maximize metabolic stress and muscle damage, 2 of the 3 growth signals in our body. So for example, exercise 1, I would do like a preacher curl with a wider grip to hit the short head, or I would do a standing barbell curl with a slightly wider grip to hit the short head. I would go 2 sets in the 12 to 20 rep range, resting about 45 seconds. Then I would immediately move on to an exercise that targets more of the long head. So right here, for instance, we could do drag curls, really keeping our elbows behind our body, really emphasizing the peak in the long head. And instead of me listing out all these exercises right now, I'm just gonna link to the 2 videos I made on the channel in the last 8 weeks that give you, I think I made 5 bicep peak exercises and most recently 4 forgotten bicep peak exercises. So literally select one of those for the long head every single workout, swap them out, get a lot of variety so your body doesn't adapt to it too quickly and you keep things interesting. And then I would pick 1 exercise for 2 sets in the 12 to 20 rep range right on the brachialis. So for instance, you could do dumbbell reverse curls, easy bar reverse curls, you could do some hammer curls, something that emphasizes the brachialis. And then 1 day per week, what I would do instead of this high rep arm workout is I would do a balloon method bicep workout, which remember is gonna hit all 3 muscle signals for growth. So for instance, you do 1 exercise now where you go heavy, no more than 8 reps. So we're gonna maximize our mechanical overload. And then you do another exercise where you do a drop set. So really focusing on the slow and eccentric portion on the drop set, 8 to 10 reps, drop the weight 30%, do another 8 to 10 reps. Then I would select 1 exercise where I would go 30 to 45 seconds time under tension. So this would be a little bit more intense and you would only do this 1 day per week. The other 6 days per week, you would do the short, approximately 10-minute 6-set bicep workout. So that's exactly how you would do the 30-day Nuclei Overload Bicep Challenge. I really want you guys to try this and please keep me updated on your results. And the best way to do that is tag me on Instagram. So tag me on Instagram at TroyShred and use the hashtag Nuclei Overload. And I'll search this hashtag frequently to stay updated with your guys' progress. So the best way to see if something works is just try it yourself. And also the other bicep protocol for 30 days is if you were like me and you really want to just focus on the height of your bicep, simply just select a long head exercise for the majority of your Nuclei Overload training. So if you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up, but don't leave yet because we have today's giveaway. So I'm actually right out here in beautiful Santa Monica, California. Got the iconic Santa Monica Ferris wheel and pier up ahead. And it's October. I love this time of the year. I loved hearing your guys' answers on the last giveaway on what your favorite Halloween candy is. So to enter today's giveaway, all you have to do is comment down below your favorite Halloween killer. Now, mine is Michael Myers from Halloween, so you guys can hear my vote. I want to hear your guys' vote down below. So comment down below your favorite Halloween killer. And I want to select 3 winners. I want to give away more winners this month on the channel. So 3 people are going to win Krieger Kiwi Berry in Superhuman pre-workout. I'm the co-founder of Elfline if you're new here. And Krieger Kiwi Berry is actually the flavor name of our Freddy Juice, which was our Halloween limited edition pre-workout from last year. So I want to get it in the hands of 3 of you guys. It's delicious kiwi blueberry flavor. All you got to do is comment down below your favorite Halloween killer of all time. And if you missed the last 2 videos on the channel, I'm going to link them right here and here. The traps video and the bicep peak video got some amazing feedback, so make sure you guys check that out next if you missed that video, and I will see you guys on the next upload.
You ain't got no gains. You ain't lift no weights.